One second here. Let me see. Random Q&A tonight. I'm at practice. Make sure I got this up and running. And I'm on, got to get a charger. Let me get a charger. Get a charger. Get the charger real quick. Y'all give me a second. Get this here situated. Plug on up. Thank y'all for joining me. I know it's early. Might be dinner time on the East Coast and still at work for some people on the West Coast, but wanted to pop on because I didn't have a coaching call tonight or any calls while my son is practicing. I'm at soccer practice with my son, Latrice, God bless you. So when I don't have a coaching call, I'm going to try to go live and do the Q&As unless there's a pressing topic that's out there that I need to speak on. But other than that, I'll try to do Q&As with the Blessed Tribe because that's what y'all join the Blessed Tribe for, to be able to do some Q&As, which is, similar to a coaching session. CO, God bless you. Thank y'all for joining the Blessed Tribe. We building it on up. To those of you in the Blessed Tribe who joined me on the project, I think we fully loaded. So I'm getting everybody email, and I'll be sending out an email here shortly within the next week or so. So y'all be patient with me as I get that together. I'm just waiting on the editing Friday, and then we're going to get going. Next Saturday, we have the book publishing boot camp. So for those of y'all aspiring authors, make sure you grab your spot in the boot camp for next Saturday, which is October 14th, I believe. And then tonight, I just wanted to do a Q&A. But for those of y'all, so remember with the Q&A, just put the hashtag Q before your question, and I should be able to see it. This chat that I'm on, the system I'm using, I'm able to keep the chat still. So if you have a question, just put the hashtag Q in front of it. And now, for those of y'all who were in the make sure no. For those of y'all who were in the the looks compatibility class, we've got an interesting case out there right now of Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift. So y'all look at that right there, and y'all will see a couple of things if based on what we talked about in the class. How should a woman dress? Now, this question here will make the feminists mad, because they'll be like, what you be? Why you asking a man how you ought to dress? But, I respect it, because if it's a man that you're looking to attract, then I respect the fact that you care enough, or that you have the wisdom to ask a man if it's a man you looking to attract. And I think that's the same thing as men, what we ought to do if we want to be attractive to a woman, to learn what is attractive to a woman. And that's one of the issues where you have women saying, oh, I don't dress for men, I dress for women. That means that you want a woman. And if you don't want a woman, then you either need to dress for yourself or dress to be attractive to the man you want to be your husband. And so, me being an athlete in college, we used to shave our legs. If we had hairy legs, we'll shave our legs. And a lot of athletes shave, their legs or whatever. Some athletes shave their arms, like baseball players, they would shave their arms or use like, nair or whatever. And when I met my wife, she was like, I don't want no man with who legs smoother than mine. And then if the hair growing back is prickly and you pricking me in the bed. So I stopped shaving my legs, and I wasn't playing football in college no more, so I had no reason to try to look athletic and show all the cuts or whatever in my leg. And so I did what was attractive to my woman. So that's why I say I respect that question when you looking to attract a man. But what I will tell you is that for me traveling the world and me just being a man and knowing men prefer a woman to be more covered up than uncovered. And men prefer for their woman to leave something to the imagination and to keep private parts private, and to let your clothing represent you. So don't dress like a celebrity. Don't dress like your mama, your auntie, your grandma. Find the clothing that really speaks for your personality and who you are, so that you're completely comfortable in what you got on. So like a lot of the young guys, they into the shirts with all the graphics on it. And a lot of the graphics may have a skull or a grim reaper. Well, me being a spiritual guy, me being a Christian, I don't want to wear nothing with no skull on it or no grim reaper. So I just wear something just kind of, just a classic look. And I'm comfortable. When I try to dress like a young guy or like an NBA player, I'll be in the outfit and I feel uncomfortable. So you got to make sure that you're in something that you could feel comfortable in. What does it mean when a Christian man says his woman should admire him and look up to him? Nah, I don't know what that mean in the sense of like if that's just something he's saying, but hopefully he don't mean that in that way. It sounds like he maybe is saying that if he meant it in the right way, he's saying that he would want his woman to affirm him and to respect his mind. But to admire him and look up to him, it sounds like he kind of has self-esteem issues. But I get it on that side of where you want to be affirmed and you want to be seen and he wants to be recognized. So like I might do something in business and I be wanting my wife to be like, man, babe, that was a genius idea. Because you just, as humans, we want to be affirmed. We want to be pat on the back. We want to be recognized. It's kind of like a woman too. If you go to work and you get a raise and you get a promotion, you're going to want your man to be like, wow, congratulations. That's so amazing. Like, hey, you really heard, like, you really doing your thing. Like, so it's human, but the way he worded it, and I'm not sure if you just saying it like that or if he said that literal thing. But you know, yeah, that's a good question. To the new members, thank y'all for joining. Do men like dingy women? Asking because I can be a little silly, dingy. I'm sorry, I said dingy. Little silly and don't want to be annoying. My wife if that's the word, dingy, if that's what that means, but my wife is like that. And I'm gonna be honest with you, it drives me crazy. But I'm just very like reserved and I don't really play a lot. And I'm more like my wife, mama. Like her mama, she got a sense of humor, but she don't play. And that's how like my daddy is. He got a sense of humor, but he don't play around. Well, my wife, daddy, if he love you, he play around. and he play a lot. And so my wife got that from him. And so it's one of them things to where if a man loves you, then he could put up with it. But if you got anything else off with you, then he got to have that personality to be able to put up with you. And you want to be with somebody that can put up with you. And I'll tell you the truth, boy. I don't know if I'd be sad if my wife stopped playing around. I do not know if I'd be sad. And she know it. I tell her all the time. I'm like, hey, calm down now. My goodness, like I'm 39 years old and you give me a wedgie and just key. I'm like, this ain't funny. I'm 39 years old. You give me this wedgie. So it just depends on, if you just acting weird and stuff, then you want to be with somebody that got a sense of humor and that could deal with that. For me, I had to come to the place to realize my wife is only like that with people she loves. She's not like that with strangers or people that she cool with or just kind of barely know. So, you got to realize it. Met this guy through a friend. We went on one date, but he doesn't call. Now he texts me wanting to go on date number 2. Should I just let it go? That's a personal choice, but that is kind of immature for a man not to call. But I think just the society we in is so text heavy, and then sometimes men don't know what to do with a woman because of the Me Too movement. That changed a lot with just men, how men used to flirt. Some of that flirting started being seen as harassment, and some of it was, but some of it wasn't. So it got this blurred line. So a man might be thinking like, oh, you're a boss woman, you got a lot going on, and he might have seen a woman online say, do not call me, text me, and I'll tell you if I want you to call me. So it's so much out there online to where if you want a man to do something, you got to communicate it. You can't just expect him to already know and understand, because there's so many mixed messages out there. So if you want him to call you, when he texts you, say, hey, give me a call when you free. Now, if you give him that opening to call you and he still don't call you, now you got an issue. Yeah, the Christian rapper on the podcast, if he said he want a woman to admire him and look up to him, it sound like he got a little thing. Sound like he got a little, some is little. Something is little. That don't really, I just never heard a man. I just can't understand a man saying he want a woman to admire him and look up to him. It's like, okay, be amazing then. If you're amazing, she gonna admire you. But if you just average and you got to ask for admiration, then you might not be amazing enough. That don't make no sense to me right there. Monique, God bless you. And that's what you got to realize. A lot of people got a microphone that shouldn't have now. I still haven't gotten over my 2-year relationship, and it's been 6 months. He was really a great guy. We broke up because I wanted him to call me every day, and he said I can call him too. And he was right. There's a ratio that I teach my clients is 3-to-1. A man should initiate and a man should pursue, but you got to understand that a relationship goes both ways. But the problem is y'all get online and y'all start listening to these Betty Boppers, and you start listening to the fake femininity coaches instead of the real femininity coaches, and you start listening to Jezebel spirits, and no human wants to just deposit and never get a withdrawal. So a man should pursue you and he should reach out to you and call you, but you also have to have a ratio. I call it a 3-to-1 ratio. And this is something that I made up, and it's not an exact science, but basically it's saying a man, we should reach out. We should lead with that. Hey, how you doing? But after we do that Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, on Thursday, if you like the man, you should reach out, hey, how are you? And now it tells him, oh, she's into me too. You can't just, a relationship go both ways, so you can't just always be the one getting served and getting chased and getting loved and you're not reciprocating. And but 2 years, and that's what y'all broke up over. That right there is real weird. That's real petty and childish now after 2 years. And y'all should have had better communication than that, and you should have been more mature than to know that. If it's different, if really a man pursuing you to where he's the only one calling, that's like the first month, so that you really know. But 2 years in, that's now about your husband. Like you should be able to, you should be reaching out to him any and every time you thinking of him when you 2 years in. So that just comes from you not knowing any better and not having a relationship coach, a life coach in your life to teach you how you supposed to interact with men. Cause you dropped the ball bad on that one. Me personally, it's been 6 months. You still ain't over, and he was a good guy too. He ain't run you off. He ain't do nothing to you. On this one right here, you might need to swallow your pride and go back and say, hey, I realized I was wrong, and I want to know if we can give it another shot. Because you were listening to and then I'm gonna tell you, I'm gonna look at you with my good eye. The way I know you were listening to the wrong ones, because for one, your mama play too much by putting them 2 E's on your last name. Two, that other name you got on there, Imani, that's another name that play too much. And then you got that red hair. That red hair, and it look like you got blue eyes, blue contacts, or color contacts, and the little eyebrows. And then you got that face of makeup on there, that foundation. And you got that lip gloss on there. Yeah, you play too much. You play too much. You want to sit over there and be served. Listen, you got on the city girl. You got on the city girl starter kit. You can't expect no man to be chasing you when you got the city girl starter kit on. If you had black hair, yeah, all right. Mike could get you a call every day, 2 years in. Red hair, you're gonna have to make a phone call. So you gotta make a phone call. Now I'm gonna tell y'all now, don't y'all ask me no questions if y'all don't want the answer to it now. Don't ask me no question. Go retract your question now. Y'all don't want the answer to it. I feel like men treat you right when you treat them like a non-factor. But the moment you reciprocate interest, let your guard down, they make a complete 180. Seems like men like women who treat them horribly. Mr. Agenda. Now, y'all got some names on y'all now. God bless you now. You pretty much right. You pretty much right. That's why I try to tell women, like, you need to let the man lead in love, meaning let him show love now. But when you reciprocate, you can't reciprocate too much now. You can't do too much, especially before he your husband. Because a lot of men know how to court a woman, know how to wine and dine, but most men don't know how to receive love. So to be honest with you, that's something that you almost need to talk about with a man. Something you almost got to talk about, and you almost got to be like, hey, one thing I've noticed is that men know how to chase a woman, pursue a woman, so-called love a woman, but then when the love is reciprocated, a man changes. Have you realized that? Have you ever been guilty of that? Sometimes you got to bring it to the forefront and talk about it, because that is right. But see, the thing about it too, though, is sometimes a woman will reciprocate a man drizzle of love with her tsunami of love. If a man drizzle you with love, you got to drizzle him with love. So meaning, if he buy you a pair of Nikes, that costs $150, don't go buy him a pair of Balenciagas that cost $600. And that's what women do. Is sometimes women so desperate to love that y'all do like these women do online, where you see these women online and they get a man a stack of cash. The woman got rose petals all on the floor. She got candles all on everything. He got a stack of cash. He got a new Gucci belt. He got Gucci shoes. He got a Gucci hat. And this is a boyfriend. And she recorded and then put it online and think she finna get some cool points. But really all she get is fool points. And that man probably got that same woman probably got one gift for that man on her birthday. That man probably got her a gift card to Applebee's. And then she go and get him got him Gucci down. And then she'll post it online because she thinks she finna get clout and get praised. And then she cry herself to sleep. Because when her birthday come, he got her a balloon and a card. And told her he down on his luck right now. His money ain't where he wanted to be right now. And that's why he ain't able to propose to her yet either. But yet she went and bought out the whole mall for him. So that's the other thing. When a man do that 180, a lot of times it's because you're doing too much. And you giving too much. And then also when a man do a 180, that mean that he's not the one for you. You're not the one for him, and you need to move on with your life. Y'all gotta forgive my wife sending me a TikTok. She be sending me a little funny TikTok, so I could tell by her caption I already know what the laugh finna be. If a military veteran of 21 years with severe PTSD never take medication and become like a grown boy narcissist, is that marriage they're in basically over? Latrice, we pretty much, could say we know the answer, but with that, you need to go. I want you to go sit down with a psychiatrist, or like a psychotherapist or a therapist, in general. And because what you have to realize is us as non-clinicians, we are not allowed to talk about and touch on diagnoses. So PTSD is a diagnosis. Narcissist is a diagnosis. So although we can infer and read between the lines, it would be wrong of me to speak on something that I'm not trained on and give you the wrong insight. And also, when it comes to marriage, you always want to go through counseling, therapy before you call it quits, because it's a covenant. You mentioned before in a previous video, a man will never marry the woman he doesn't love. No, sister, I ain't say that now. You might have heard that wrong. Would you say Jeezy loved Jeannie Mai? A guy marrying for a come up is crazy. I ain't say that. You probably heard me wrong. I probably said a man will marry a woman he doesn't love. Now, what I said is a man will never leave a woman he loves. But men get married every day to women they don't love. And the reason why men get married every day to women they don't love is because I would say 80 to 90% of black men never fall in love, unfortunately. But you also got to think about it. How can a person fall in love when all they've known is hate and pain and trauma? And a lot of times, black women from those same environments don't fall in love either. They call it love, but it's really codependency. It's really codependency. And so we don't realize that though. But yes, a man marry every day for a come up. And I'm going to tell you, if Taylor Swift came and shot her shot at me, I'm going to really struggle. I'm going to tell y'all now. And I know women don't like to hear that. I know y'all want to be lied to. And 99.9% of men going to lie to y'all on that right there. But I told my wife a long time ago, I said, baby, there's two women that I might consider cheating with. That's Oprah and Beyonce. And you know why I said that? Just for the money. Just for the money. Cause see, I'm gonna tell y'all, and see, we have to pray on this, and we got to pray through this. So what you have to realize is that it's one thing that men love more than sex. That's money. It's unfortunate, but that is the one thing men love more than sex is money. Money. So I'm telling you. Hey, God bless you now, Beauty by Crystal. God bless you. So me knowing that, I really appreciate that blessing. Look at Beauty by Crystal. Lord, bless her, Lord. Pour out in her life, Lord. Open windows of heaven, bless her more. Press down, shaking together, and running over. That's a step out there on faith and bless me. See, me knowing that, I have to be aware of that. You got to know. See, a lot of times a man will lie about it and ignore his temptations and ignore his weaknesses, and then it'll come up on you. So actually, when I said that to my wife years ago, she said, don't say that. She said, don't say that because you never know. She said, you might end up being Beyonce life coach one day. I say, well, you know what? I actually hope. Because I know I wouldn't do it. So, but I said, I actually hope the devil think that I will do it so that I do get the coach. And then instead of having to try to cheat for some money, I just know I could charge them $5,000 an hour. Yeah, I'm gonna price $5,000 an hour. I'm tied up, just real busy. But I'm gonna tell y'all right now, if y'all didn't know that, that's why I try to tell y'all ladies, like, listen, judge a man by his character now. And so all the Atlanta people, they talk about how much property Jeezy owned and how much money he got and all that, which that all may be very well true. That all may be true. But it's still connections and come ups and experiences you can have when you marry certain type of women in certain circles. It's a certain look. And then some men, they'll do it just for the publicity. Why do men ask about how dating has been for me in my city? It's just conversation, but it's also something just to see if you desperate. Just to see if you desperate. It might be a question he heard on a podcast. What is the point of a man telling the woman he is dating about his exes calling or other women trying to get at him? That means that he's insecure. It means that he's insecure and he wants you to think that he is more than he is. Now, Mel, you didn't put 3 questions in here in a row. Now you need a coaching session. Now you on here taking advantage of the Q&A. You need a coaching session. Now you need to cut a check. Now Q&A ain't for that. Now you need to cut a check. You need to be up there with Beauty by Crystal sending the donation. Now, oh, now. Thoughts on men who spend years on dating apps but remain single. That's what I might teach a class on this Saturday. But my son want to go to one of these college games, so I might teach it not Saturday. I might teach it Sunday. I need to teach y'all ladies, but I need to do this behind the paywall because I'm gonna be stepping on toes and offending people. I need to teach y'all about the type of men on dating apps because for some reason y'all women do not believe me. Y'all do not believe me. Men know men. Men know men. And it's only one or two types of men that's on a dating app. And so that right there, what you just said, that say it all. That say it all. Thank you there, sister. Good evening, Tony. Thoughts on TP saying if a man only pays a water bill, that's okay. Lee Ashley, I don't know if I did a video on that. And I don't know how much I could say on it because I'm trying to probably be a life coach or a therapist in one of Tyler Perry movies. But what Tyler was talking about, he got beside himself. And I'm going to tell y'all the Freudian slip that Tyler made. Tyler water bill is probably $2,000 a month. So when he said water bill, I think Tyler forgot that a lot of water bill might be $100, $200. And I'm trying to give him the benefit of the doubt. But the other thing is Tyler also is he more feminine than masculine. So meaning he gonna more side with the man than the woman, meaning he more so want to see the man point of view than the woman. And that comes from him being a feminine male. It's different than being a feminine woman. When you're a feminine male, you kind of gonna take up more for the man. And also that also let me know that Tyler has never been broke and in a relationship with a woman where he was with that woman, like really in the relationship with the woman. I think he was pretty much single when he started sleeping in his car and then started doing the plays and doing the stage plays and doing the stage play tours. I don't think Tyler has ever been broke and in a relationship. When a man is broke, we are next to incapable to being able to be dealt with. When we broke, we stressed out. My uncle in prison and be stressed when he broke and ain't got no light bill. It's like, yeah, he in prison, ain't got to pay a single bill. And he be stressed when he broke. So imagine a man in the real world. Man, we punching holes in walls. That man might be putting hands on her. You never want to be with a man that is broke, busted, and disgusted. Because Tyler was saying, oh, if he treats you right, if he love you, if he this and that, and all he could pay is a light bill. What he don't realize, because he's not a relationship coach, is that type of man does not exist. That type, Jesus Christ didn't even do that because Jesus ain't even getting no relationship. And so a man that is finna be nice and kind and loving and all he could do is pay a light bill, that's a man that's using you. If a man is nice and kind, a man ought to be mad if all he could do is pay a light bill. He ought to be mad with himself because McDonald's is hiring. Walmart warehouse is hiring. Public warehouse is hiring. The CDL is hiring. So a man ought to be mad. He ought to be ticked off if all he could pay is a light bill. And you don't never want no man that only can pay no light bill. I'll tell you that. Nah. That man finna drive you crazy. That man finna have you popping pill if all he could pay is a light bill. What has happened in a man's life for him to make the switch and start improving his character and walking in his purpose? Seem like lots of men grow old, never mentally growing up. Typically, when a man make that switch is after he hit rock bottom. After he hit rock bottom, or he meet a woman that will not allow him to settle for being less than his best. It's one or two things. Hey, I'm not a comedian, but I do want to start. I'm looking for. Oh my goodness, look at him, man. See, this is why I be trying. This is why I try to tell you, man. I asked my wife, help me find a venue. She ain't found now venue. And that's what people be talking. Oh, Tony, why you don't do this and do that with your wife? Listen, man, my wife focused on the household. She focused on the household. She focused on our kids. And you know what? I have to remind myself, that's if she happy doing that, that's exactly where I want her to be. Because I told my wife, I said, baby, I want to start doing a talks with Tony. So what we doing right here, do this live in person, but in the comedy clubs, because they have the food and drinks already in there. And so y'all write the comedy club in your city and get the rate. If they don't write you back, go up there and talk to the salesperson and say, hey, Tony Gaskins want to rent out one of y'all empty nights. What's the rate? How y'all do it? Y'all get the bar and the food, and he get the dough tickets. And then y'all email in and let me know what they say. Or if one of y'all is a comedian watching this and you got one of them agents out there in LA that be booking the venue for me, y'all give me a call, let me know. Cause it just be way better than using the oh Lord, I told my wife I'm on live. She just sent me another TikTok. So I'm about to get off this little live so I can get on these here TikTok she's sending me. Yeah, keep that jet blight. Keep that jet blight. I'm gonna try to tell you now, when y'all go to red and y'all go to blue and y'all go to purple and you not married, you putting yourself in a little hole that's this big. Because I'm gonna tell y'all, I'm gonna tell you and I'm gonna be honest with you. As a man, colored hair, we see colored hair that is really far from what your natural hair could do. We see it as you from the hood. It says it's giving section 8. I hate to tell y'all that. It's giving small town with one red light. I hate to tell y'all that. Man. And I'm gonna tell you, I wish I could lie to you, man. I want to lie to you. And we need more people like this right here, like Joya. Need more people like that now. Need more people like that right there. Let me see. Sorry to write again. Now, this is my sister with the red hair now. Now, I ain't calling you ghetto now. You got it laid right now. Sorry to write again. I just want to clarify. He asked me to get my hair red. Oh, it isn't red anymore. Thank you for that advice. Now, I can't remember what your first question was. You wanted him to call you every day. He said you could call him too. He told you to get your hair red. That's old freak there. Because y'all got to remember, Charlie Baltimore had her hair red. And then, so you change your hair color for the man, and you damaging your roots and your ends for the man, and you won't even call him? Come on now, sister. That don't go together now. I wouldn't be damaging my hair for a man that I won't even call now. Come on now. This is the question I want y'all to ask y'all self. The question I want y'all to ask y'all self. Can you speak on women with mommy and daddy issues? My mom can be emotionally detached from me at times. My dad was, when I was 2 years old. I noticed I date emotionally detached men. Sister, that's a therapy question. That's a therapy question. That's deeper than life and relationship coaching, because you're dealing with some that type of thing. You need a treatment plan, and that's what therapists have. Life coach can make one, but when you're dealing with things like abandonment, things like avoidance and detachment, that's therapy. That's therapy. And so I want y'all to understand is that, and want y'all to realize in this, that I'm not a know-it-all. I've never called myself a guru or expert. Yeah, I could throw my 2 cents out there, but I don't throw my 2 cents where I ain't qualified to throw it. Especially not out here on public. Like, we was having a private conversation, I could give you a little more insight, but out here, they waiting on me to slip up. They waiting to charge me with practicing as a therapist without a license. That's what the devil want. So y'all can't ask me therapy questions now. But I get it. A lot of people don't know the difference between therapy and life coaching, because a lot of people write in, "Hey Tony, can I sign up for counseling?" I have to tell them I don't do counseling. I'm a coach. Twala, God bless you now. God bless you. Hey Tony, is previous in a pattern automatic? Can he change? Any human could change now, but is that worth it? Because the next one might be the last one. The next one might be the one to take you out. That's another question. Yeah, Taylor Swift. Nah, that amount of money. I've been about to ask my wife. I was about to ask my wife. I said, "Baby, now listen, if a billionaire come and try to holler at me, will you give me the authorization to just shoot a little game, just to get me a couple of investments, and then I'm gonna come back to you?" And she said, "Well, if you give me the ability, if a billionaire come talk to me," and I said, "Yeah, you can't sleep with them now, but yeah, if you get your investment, yeah, and bring some of that money back on over here, hey." But I'm just seriously almost joking. I really don't know, and that's why I'm praying the Lord don't try me like that. Lord, please don't let the devil try me, because I might be the lost it all, man. I might be to ruin my whole brand. A billion now come holler at me. Man, I got too many dreams I'm trying to get off the ground. Now, if the Lord take and go on, bless me. Come on, Lord. You know what I'm trying to get off the ground, Lord. But no, I wouldn't be able to do it. I wouldn't be able to do it. It's some people that take me serious, but if you new here, then you're, "Oh, he said online he gonna cheat on his wife." It's like, if you think I really gonna do that, you think I'll say that on live in public? But that's how the devil be working. Somebody say, "Wow, okay, well you well, Relish, I hope Beyonce ain't watching this." Do y'all know Beyonce watch these lives and Oprah watch these lives? Beyonce and Oprah watch these lives. Now y'all got to realize this YouTube. It's YouTube. They on here. Ooh, ooh. Oh, yeah, yeah. I'm gonna let y'all say it just in case they come over here with an investment. If they come on here with an investment, the Bible says the wealth of the wicked is stored up for the righteous. Now, I ain't calling y'all wicked now. Beyonce and Taylor. No, no. No, I wouldn't be able to do it. When I'm talking to men realistically, I tell them, I say, if I walked into my hotel room and a woman on Beyonce level was on the bed naked, I give her clothes and help her out my room. And that's what I really mean. But at the same time, the Bible say wherever there is temptation, there will be a way of escape. So when you really walking with the Lord gonna show you your weakness so you could devise your plan of escape before it ever comes upon you. Because the Bible say God tempts no man. And wherever you are tempted, there will be a way of escape. So that's why I talk about that. And that's why I analyze that, because if I don't, if it happened, it'll catch me off guard like it's catching some of y'all pastors off guard. So you seen some of y'all pastors, when they met a woman, they was married. And when they met a woman who had a bigger name, more fame, and more money than their wife, they divorced their wife and they went to that woman with money and fame. You've had pastors do that. We've had music artists do that. We've had actors do that. We've had athletes do that. And then if you look around in your own city, you're going to be able to identify men who have done that to their wife. They met a woman who got a better job or a bigger name or more money or come from a better family, and they lead a wife for this woman who got more. And so that's why I actually process those things, so that when it happened, I'm ready for it. Can a man be in love with his best friend but not want to be with his best friend because she can't do nothing for him? Yes. A man, and see, the thing about it now, it's not in love, but a man could have a deep love for his best friend. And a man will have a deep love for his best friend. But he might not want to be with his best friend because she's not attractive to him, or he actually likes men. That's the two reasons why a man won't be with his best friend that he loves, because she's not attractive to him, or he like men. Emma, it's always hope. It's always hope. But you got to know the reality in order to understand hope. Hi, Tony. I recall you mentioning your kids attending a predominantly white school. What has been your biggest challenge, and what advice would you give to someone in a similar situation? The biggest challenge has been when teachers have a little racism in them and a little prejudice in them. The kids these days, they so removed from slavery. If they hear like little racist jokes and stuff from their grandparents or somebody like that. But my sons don't deal with, skin color issues. Like, they don't deal with that right there with their friends in a real way. There's been little jokes and stuff over the years, but they also have their own little jokes. And so the biggest problem has been, like, we actually had a problem with a black teacher who was giving preferential treatment to the wealthy white kids, but then taking out her anger and frustration on our son because he black. So she felt like she know him. And it's like how we sometimes are meaner to our siblings than we are to our friends, and we meaner to our parents than we are to somebody else's parents, and we give somebody else's parents the respect we should be giving our parents, and then we give our friends the respect we should be giving our spouse or our siblings. And so that's how it is sometimes with my son being in a predominantly white sport. He get treated worse by black coaches than white coaches. In a predominantly white school, he'll get treated worse by black teachers than white teachers, because they feel like, oh, we gotta connection. So I could be you skin folk, you kin folk, I could be extremely hard on you, but I got to tiptoe with them over there. And so that was one of the shocking things that happened. And then just teachers, the when white teachers they're not accustomed to a child of color being confident. That'll have some of the white teachers just thrown off if they come from like Confederate flags, or they come from a place where they used to blacks being illiterate or unlearned or less knowledgeable and more insecure. Sometimes certain white teachers who come from that, they very taken aback by a loud, confident, assertive black child. But as soon as you read them they rights and you let them know that you're not playing, they get it together. Welcome to the new members. Ain't got too much longer, y'all. I'm gonna let her tell you since I don't be telling you. I'm ready to get my first condo in another city. Will the process be difficult? I don't know how to go about looking for a condo. No, the process won't be difficult. The process won't be difficult because when you go and look at condos on like Zillow and Realtor and all that, it got a score on it. It'll show you the walkability score. It'll show you the school zone score. So you want to get the high score. And then you also want to go visit and walk around and look around too. Because sometimes the inside pictures will trick you. And another thing too is don't buy nothing right now. You want a condo, don't buy the condo right now. Unless you okay with this 8% plus interest rate. But it's all right to the rent for a year. Prices might not go down, but it pretty much can't go up from here where we at. So don't let nobody make you feel guilty about renting. A lot of people always feel guilty about renting. Talking about the American dream. Listen, I almost lost my first house off of property taxes. So you could buy something and you still don't own it. So you lose your job, you could be done paid off the whole mortgage. You lose your job and you can't pay the property taxes, they'll take that house right from you. I watched your video this morning about ungrateful people and no longer dealing and giving to those types of people in your life. Do you tell them why you decided to no longer be friends or just stop speaking to them? It's up to your personality. It's up to you. You know, I remember a guy, he was writing me and he would just write me just like weird stuff. Like, it'll just be like, hey, you better answer my text message. You know, how you gonna go and post online and you ain't answer my text message? And I didn't even know the dude, never even met the dude in person. And one day I wrote him, I was like, bro, I met you from online. I said, bro, don't you ever in your life write me talking to me like that. You not my girlfriend or my wife. Don't be writing me, checking me. I'm a grown man. I told him that right there, and I never spoke to him again. I never answered another text message again. I just let him know, like, bro, what you think this is, bro? You talking to me like I'm your child. So it just depends on your personality. See, then me, that's my personality. I'm going to tell you how I feel. But if that's not your personality, when you stop answering them, you start ignoring them, they're going to get the hint. They're going to get the hint. Same guy that I mentioned earlier had an old picture of me in their phone with my old phone number, but he's been married. Is that weird? Yeah. 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 Is God hiding me? I asked him to only send my husband. I don't want to date. Now I'm not getting approached. Well, you asked. I'm feeling much more confident these days, getting no attention, not even to turn down. Well, you asked. God and gave you what you asked for. God and gave you what you asked for. But that's not that, you know, it could be a couple of other factors in there because a lot of men not approaching these days. I found that when I call a man out for trying to manipulate me, they respond by projecting their past relationship issues. Why is that? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. That's because most people don't heal before they deal. Most people don't heal. And that's why they still trying you like they trying you. Because they ain't learned from their past. I found that when I call a man out for trying to manipulate me, that's the same question I just asked. She put it in there 2 times. See, that's so y'all know I ain't pre-reading these questions. I'm just we coming right, flowing with the spirit. I let go of a grown boy and have been abstinent for 16 months, trusting God to send my husband, leaving it in his hands. Is God testing me? I'm now getting approached by married men. What do you think? So now in the last message, you weren't getting approached. Now you're getting approached by married men. So you either lying or need a coaching session. Sound like you need a coaching session. But coaching session closed. I forgot to tell you, I closed my coaching session on September 30th. So the only people I'm working with for the rest of the year is people who already did a coaching session earlier in the year. I already did a session this year. What are your thoughts on keeping your options open? How can you really get to know someone when your attention is not fully on one person during the talking and dating phase? You have to go based on your personality. So if you need to be completely focused on one person, then do that. Not everybody has that type of personality. So keeping your options open does not mean that you sleeping with multiple people. Keeping your options open means that if a guy approaches you and asks you for your phone number and you give him your phone number and y'all texting and y'all talking on the phone, and then you go out and another guy approach you and ask you for your phone number and you give him your phone number, and you equally as interested in how he looks and how he sounds and how he dressed, then you talking to him on text message and on the phone too. So you may talk to one guy from 7 to 8 p.m., then you talk to the other guy from 8 to 9 p.m., and then you done for the night. And what's happening is like a horse race. And this is the thing that men do with women that women don't often do with men. But men put women in a race. And eventually one woman gonna start to fall back. And then the woman who take the lead, that's who the man end up being with. So men who have the ability to do that. So if you got the ability to have options, you shouldn't put all your eggs in one basket until you know in your heart that this your husband. And like he asks you, can we be exclusive? Will you be my girlfriend? Will you be my woman? Then if you feel like he could be the one, that's when you cut everybody else off. But until that time happens, you got 24 hours in a day. So you're not talking to somebody for 24 hours. It don't take more than an hour a day to get to know somebody. I'm not envious / jealous, but wow, even while I'm working on my 3Bs, the competition is crazy. I cannot compete with these ladies and the male gaze. Any advice? Yeah, some stuff out there now, but it's not as crazy as you think it is. You got to keep working on yourself, keep putting your best foot forward. You may need to work with, like an image consultant or something of that nature, but a lot of times women think women are cuter than they are. It's a lot of women that my wife will be like, oh, she pretty. And I'll be like, no, she is not. So that's why when I was talking about the other day, when I was talking about Remy Ma and Papoose, a lot of women came in there talking about Remy Ma is beautiful. Remy Ma is beautiful. And it's like, yeah, she okay looking, like she pretty with all that makeup on and lace front and all that, but she not nothing to write home about. It ain't somebody you finna rush to your mama. But women look at a woman, if you don't want to marry a woman, then you don't see what a man see. So a lot of times as women, y'all looking at other women and y'all giving a woman a whole lot more credit. And we do that as men. Like I could look at a man and me not being able to judge a man the way a woman can. The guy might look like a handsome guy to me, but I may ask a woman, they be like, oh, he all right. He decent. But that's just because I'm just looking at him surface level because I'm not attracted to men. I'm not finna marry no man. I'm not finna date no man. So I can't see him the way a woman could see him and vice versa. A lot of women think that y'all could see a woman the way a man could see a woman, and you can't. So really the competition is not really all that where. Hey, when it look like it's natural, you okay. When it look like it's natural, you okay. Made sense. My boyfriend was like, why you want red hair? You trying to get seen? Yeah, you definitely gonna get seen. You definitely gonna get seen. Yeah. Now neutral. Yeah. Neutral color. Why men over the age of 30 can't communicate their emotions or feelings when you give them the room to do so? They can. They can. It's just that sometimes you have to ignore a man to get him to open up. See, a lot of times when you give a man a room to do so, and it's like you like, hey, talk to me. You know, I'm here. I'm listening. You giving him attention. So the more he be quiet and the more you ask him, the more attention you giving him. Sometimes when you just ignore him, that's when he'll come on out and say what's on his mind. So a lot of times the man giving you the silent treatment is attention seeking behavior. And you got to understand that. Tony, I recently stopped seeing a man who treated me well with respect, but didn't share my same faith. Your thoughts. You did the right thing. You did the right thing because your faith is your foundation. And you build on a foundation. Yes, it'll be recorded. So you can access it later. Thank y'all to the new members. I noticed unsaved guys would ask me out, but men of God wouldn't. I'm introverted and kind of awkward, but still get asked out. Godly men don't pay me attention though. Any thoughts as to why? Any advice? Well, you might be, it sounds like you in protective custody by God. So what that means is God ain't released his man to come and approach you, but the devil done release his men to come and approach you to take you off your godly walk. So the men who are ungodly, they coming to get you out your walk with God to get you on your back. Because a lot of so-called Christian women fall into bed in fornication with a man who is not a man of God. And those men, they take pride in that. I done heard rappers say, you know, doing such and such with the pastor daughter or doing such and such with a Christian woman. Like the devil take pride in knocking off Christians. So when you say that you love the Lord, you got to make sure that you're going to walk all the way right. Because the one person that you slip and you fall into sin with, you just gave them a testimony that the power of God is not real. So when we say, and that's what we don't realize, and that's why we pay such a great price, and that's why blood is on our hands, and that's why I say to myself, I think about that myself all the time. I could go out here and find a woman who will be okay being a secret. and being quiet if I'm going to take care of her. But guess what? To that one woman, her blood will be on my hands because I'm showing her that the power of God is not real in my life. So now I'm sending her to Satan because she can't believe in God if I claim to be a man of God and not living by the teachings of God. And that's what so-called men of God don't realize. And that's why I don't play with it. So right now, God got you in protective custody. And I could tell by your picture, your husband is rare. Your husband not no everyday man. Because how you got that hair laid and how you got that natural look to you, and you just got the natural, black beauty. A man got to be mature. A man got to be walking with God. A man got to be a man who is not into pornography. See, the ungodly men, they coming to get you because you look classy, you look like the girl next door, you look like a woman of God, so they want to come knock you off. The men of God, they not going to come till they ready to get married because they don't want to knock you off your path either if they ain't all the way on their path. God bless you. Last question, I reach out and he doesn't this. You said in the video you don't believe in soulmates, but I think he is the one. In hindsight, maybe you say he doesn't want this. In hindsight, the phone thing was stupid. I just wasn't comfortable. Yeah. It sounds like you think he's the one, sister, because you never really knew him. That's all it is. All you knew is his representative, and that's how he could move on so easily after 2 years. He never showed you the full him, which is very common. It's very common for men to do. A lot of women don't know the real man until like 5 years in. That's very common. Men have a poker face, and we have that because we also are bred and built to be killers, to be warriors, to be soldiers in the army. So you can't be so expressive and so open and so vulnerable if you also built for war, physical war. But the problem with being built for physical war is sometimes we don't develop what we need for spiritual war. But that's a whole nother lesson in itself. I found that when I call a man out for trying to, this is to post this question 99 times. Do you think it's a good idea to be a life coach on YouTube and a makeup artist too? Yeah, you could be a life coach and makeup artist. So what you ought to do is you do makeup and you do the different looks, but while you doing it, after you say what you using for foundation and for blush and for all of that, you teaching on a lesson. And so you merge the two. And you say, hey, today's lesson is on self-love. And I'm going to show you this classic look. And then you do the look, but you talking about self-love. And so you could do both. You just got to, So have you considered doing the video responses to email questions and advice again? Yes. For your long form questions where you're telling the whole story, you got to email it to inbox@tonygaskins.com. inbox@tonygaskins.com. This app I'm on here don't show me likes. Okay, I see. No, y'all don't want the truth, because when I tell y'all the truth, then y'all go to losing hope. So I can't tell you the whole truth. Whole truth only for coaching calls. Anytime I tell y'all the whole truth, y'all, I get the lost hope. Any advice on taking the leap of faith and going for a dream in freelancing / content creation? I have a full-time job, but I'm being called to more. sister, what you got to realize is that's not a leap of faith. See, a leap of faith is when you finna leap to do God work. Freelancing and content creation ain't got nothing to do with God. So that's a leap of folly. That's a leap of fun. And that's a leap of freelancing. So before you take that leap, you need to have a year worth of your job salary saved up to give you cushion while you build your brand. You also got to have marketing dollars. So when you come to somebody with a brand, we easily can shout you out through paid marketing and get you a list of clients, a book of clients. But you got to have the money for that, because somebody who done took years and years to build a brand, they not going to just promote you for free. So you got to have your ducks in a row. And if you got that, then you'll be all right. How should I deal with men constantly trying to sleep with me in the workplace? I've been in the entertainment business since I was 18. It doesn't seem to get any easier. I'm going to tell you, the more you turn them down, the more you going to get from them. At first, some men going to try to act like they going to cut you off, or they going to talk bad about you, or they going to do whatever. But when you finally get that man respect, that man going to tell everybody in the industry about you. He going to start getting you jobs trying to court you. So stick to it. Stick to it. Just keep sidestepping. Hey, God bless y'all. I got to go. The questions, there's still some more in there. I couldn't get to all of them. Rosemary, God bless you. I see you right there, Rosemary. God bless you. My son about to get out of practice, so I need to go ahead and wind down, whatever you call it. Let me see. I tried to get most of them, but when I don't have a coaching call while I'm at my son practice, I try to do these lives when I'm in here. When I'm in my mobile office, I'm in my mobile office. But God bless y'all. And October 14th, the book publishing boot camp. Hope to see you on there. God bless you. We'll talk soon.